everybody, and welcome to episode 393 of the All You Can Hear podcast. My name is Wenzel, and joining me today is my other co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Colt.
If you couldn't tell from the title of this episode, this is not too different from what we usually do with our anime reviews that we've done, where we'll go through the first episodes of the quarter or the seasonal anime, and then talk about them and review them. Kind of, this is a little different. This is more so. There were 5 anime that came out this season, and we decided to watch the first episode, and we're going to tell you that. We're going to talk about them, but after seeing them, I told Colt this beforehand that I just kind of haphazardly named the 5 must-watch anime, 5 must-watch spring anime. I stand by that because all 5 of these we're going to tell you are the cream of the crop this season. Unless there are some that we haven't missed. Obviously, we just picked off these 5 because these are the biggest titles we know and we've heard.
All new, no second season stuff like normal for us.
Yeah, and so and like I said, we watched the first episodes of all these, just that. So there's only spoilers for the first episodes. And like I said, these are the 5 must-watch anime of this season. If you're going to watch anything, we highly recommend these 5 here. And yeah.
And the funny thing is, 2 of these, I didn't even watch in Japanese.
I watched all of these in Japanese.
I didn't because I didn't get an option for one of them. And the other one, actually, I didn't get an option for 2 of them.
Yeah. So Colt warned me beforehand, which is, not really much of a warning, but he told me, he was like, you said there was no Japanese dub available for Lazarus, and then there was no or Devil May Cry was done specifically in English. Well, let's just say I didn't watch them on the sites that intended, and so where I did watch them, they had the Japanese dubs available.
Well, hey, I'm just saying the English dub, very good. I'm going to continue to watch them in English because they're really good.
Yeah, there's good English dubs. Nothing wrong with that. I could have probably watched Lazarus in the English dub, but I was really lazy. So I was like, I'm just going to do it on here because I'm already on this thing.
I would actually recommend watching it in English because it's very fitting for what Lazarus is.
Oh, yeah, no.
And Lazarus, the music used is in English as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do not disagree with you there. I know that they, in the past, with who have worked on this, we'll talk about it, but the people who worked on this, they've done really good dubs of their prior shows. But yeah, so we're gonna just go through these, give you some details about each one, talk about the first episodes, and yeah, there's not gonna be any kind of like we usually do, where we'll throw in the bad and the good together, or the middling. This is straight up the top 5 anime best out of the spring season that we believe. There, like I said, there could be stuff that we there's still a bunch of anime that we haven't seen that we might that we could have missed, or what have you. But these are our favorites. So you want me to just go down and list doc order, or was there a specific way you wanted to do this, Colt?
No, there's not. Just do it whatever you want.
All right. Well, we're gonna go in doc order then. Surprisingly, it is alphabetical up until just this. It is Anne Shirley. This is basically what I believe to be a remake of the original anime series that came out back in the 70s.
Yes, which is also a adaptation.
It's an adaptation. So whenever I didn't know they're making this, I knew Pat said something about it forever ago, but that was more so Colt reminding me that he said something about it. And so when I looked it up, I was like, oh shit. If you don't know, it's based off of the novel by Lucy Maud Montgomery, Anne of Green Gables. I have read it, but it's been, oh my gosh, it's been like a decade since I've read it. So
I feel like I read it in elementary school.
Well, I read it in high school, so I don't know. I don't know about that, Colt.
Just the first one, nothing else, because I was not aware. There was like 8 of them, and they all follow her throughout her life, which is a fun thing, because the first book's called Anne of Green Gables, and the show is just called Anne Shirley. So I'm thinking that it's probably first season's just going to be the first book. Second season, if they plan to, if it does well, maybe they'll adapt the rest of the series.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like Cole. I've only read the first book. It was very long ago, but yeah. This premiered April 19th. You can currently watch this on Crunchyroll, and the total number of episodes that are projected or that we know of for this first season are 24. So that's pretty freaking stacked. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're going all out for this one. You can tell I was just not aware that this was so big in Japan. Yeah, it is. They really care for Anne Shirley.
Yeah, and the reason why too, and Tanner was the one that told us about this, so I'll give credit to him for this because I really didn't know, but it makes so much sense. So it was one of the first books from America published in Japan post World War II, and it became so big it started being covered in Japanese curriculum in the early 70s. And Isawa Takahata wrote and directed the 70s adaptation before they co-founded Studio Ghibli. And you see a lot of that, like kind of that Studio Ghibli like influence in this as well. Yeah, now I should say there was also a manga adaptation based on the 1952 translation by Hanaku Muraoka and illustrated by Akane Hishikobu. That was released in January of this year.
It's just such a surprise because it's beautiful, genuinely beautifully animated, and it mimics the Ghibli style in a way that's not exactly ripping it off, but it's inspired, I would say. It's super beautiful. The backgrounds are insane. It's just such a pretty thing to look at because the studio that animated the Answer Studio, they don't have much under their belt. I mean, they've supported on a lot of stuff, but for the most part, they don't really have many like big things under them. I guess Tower of God season 2, but I've heard mixed things on that.
What about
Transformers animated?
What about Golgo 13?
I mean, I don't know if that version of it was well received because I didn't really learn about Golgo 13 until like 2017, 18.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Obviously we're not going into super specific details or whatever, but from what it looks like, they did a lot of just co-production, assistance, what have you. So it seems to me, now correct me if I'm wrong, anybody listening, this is kind of their first big project that they're handling themselves.
That is definitely a bigger IP. It's something very much so well known. I wouldn't say IP. It feels weird saying that for something.
Transformers animated is actually huge. I know you said that, but it just
I don't know anything about that Transformers animated.
Transformers animated was fucking awesome. What the hell?
But they've done 600 episodes of something called Shamajiro no Wow. So 670, and it's ongoing.
I don't care about that. I care about Transformers.
Okay, I gotcha.
No, I really need to. No, I mean, okay, man.
I've seen animated before. They got this wonky style, but it's good.
Yeah, dude, I freaking love Transformers animated. I heard you say it, but I was too busy looking at everything else. I was just like completely slipped by me. Yeah, no, completely take back everything I said. Sorry. That's crazy. But anyway, wow. From Transformers now to Anne of Green Gables.
Same
I love that.
universe.
Same universe, kind of. But yeah, no, it looks gorgeous. Like we said, it has those influences in there, but it's kind of its own. First episode is it's such an interesting world, and it is just basically our introduction to the 11-year-old Anne Shirley, who gets taken to she's taken to the Green Gables home, which is on Prince Edward Island. This all takes place in Canada.
Evil place.
Yeah. And so she gets on a train, she goes to this place, she goes to Prince Edward Island, and it is there that she's supposed to be picked up by her new parents because she's adopted by the Cuthberts. And little does she know that she actually wasn't even supposed to be there. This is actually a clerical error where the Cuthberts wanted a boy because there's kind of weird like superstitions and things surrounding girls. But we get this really sweet moment where her new father picks her up and takes her to their home, and on this journey of them going to her new home, we get introduced to her personality, to her character, and already we can tell that Matthew Cuthbert is very much
He's a nice man.
He's a very nice man, and already is like, this is I think this is my daughter.
Yeah, he couldn't even bring himself to like say, we wanted a boy, like his bitch wife. Just kidding. She comes back around. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, because like the whole premise of this is that Anne Shirley is this very just imaginative, excitable, very just kind of unusual girl who gets very kind of like not necessarily strict parents, adoptive parents, but they're very much not used to this, nor have they ever had a child or anything. And even though they wanted a boy, they still adopt her. Spoilers.
Yeah, because at the end of the episode, fucking Maria or Marilla, one of the it's Marie.
You could. It might be Maria. If she's oh gosh,
Maria. Fuck it. She's Spanish.
I don't know, actually.
But at the end of the episode, she's taking her back to the place where she told, like, hey, I want to adopt a boy. And when she did that, there was this other, like, old bitch, like, super evil looking and sounding woman that's like, all right, you're going to have to do all this for me. You got to earn your keep, basically. But Maria saw that and said, fuck, this woman's a bitch. I hate her. So I'm not gonna let you be adopted by her.
Yep. And so it's just kind of this very funny circumstance of because Anne Shirley has grown on. Actually, I looked it up. Her name is pronounced Marilla. Marilla. Yeah. So we got it right. Yeah, she's starting to grow on Marilla as well. So she goes to the original woman who was kind of the mediator, or the person who like gets these children to where they need to go. Talks to the very terrible woman, and she's like, well, we never said we wanted to give her up. We were just wanting to see what happened. I gotta go.
Like, how did this fuck up happen?
Yeah. So she goes to want to talk to her husband about it first, and it's basically just is like, no, that's their daughter now. And it's so sweet because it's like a lot of the time, like, Marilla is just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why do we don't, like, we need a boy to help around and do stuff, blah blah blah. And he's like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. He's like, but what what can she do for us? It's like, well, it's more like what I think she said, what can we do for her, or what can we teach her? And like, it's like, yeah,
Because the entire episode, Anne is also kind of laying it on thick, like, please let me stay, but also like, if you must take me, just know they're gonna decapitate me, they're gonna rip my arms off. She's not saying it like that. She's like, I've lived such a hard life, they'll take me back. Girls are never adopted. She's laying it on thick in a like woe is me way, but she's being serious.
What are you talking about? She never says any of that.
Yeah, she does. She says like it's hard being a girl being adopted. Also, she's very she's self-conscious of her red hair, saying that nobody wants a twinly little girl with ugly red hair like mine.
She doesn't say that. She doesn't say that at all. She talks about how she doesn't like her red hair, but she doesn't say nobody wants a person with red hair. And also, too, you're talking about how she's like talking about how nobody wants to adopt a girl. No, she talks about how she says, can you imagine coming to a new home thinking you're going to be adopted, and then you find out that you're not meant to be. You're meant to be you're meant to be a boy, or like, can you imagine like how much despair you would be in if you heard that? Which is true.
Well, yes, that too. Two things can be true. She does.
No, she doesn't.
All right, just at least not in the first episode, I guess, because there's a whole plot point in the second episode where that is important.
Oh my god. Okay. Great. God, where the fuck was?
Because that definitely happens at some point. If it's not in the first episode, it's in the second.
I mean, fine. It's just okay. Anyway, no, it's just God, you completely fucking derailed me with your nonsense.
It's not nonsense if it's real.
Insane. You're insane. Not for the first episode. It's not real.
Sounds like you got to open up your fucking eyes.
I just watched the first episode literally this morning.
Yeah,
it's fresh on my mind.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right. God. Anyway, but yeah, they have very much warmed up her. Matthew already just loves her. Marilla, she's very much that kind of like rigid, almost unflexible kind of older female figure, but is still very much very caring, can be very tender when need be, like this moment we see here. She just needs some opening up. And when Matthew meets Anne first at the station, they do this fisheye lens of Anne talking about a fucking tree, and it's so funny and so cute because she's just this wonderful little kid with so much imagination. Like the entire time as they're riding from the train station to Green Gable, she's just talking about naming all these different kinds of things and about like what she kind of likes and everything. And Matthew just listening to her, and she's like, yeah, like that's awesome. So it's so I love Anne. She's just a sweet little girl.
And anybody that's mean to her is gonna get killed.
I agree. Like, protect this child at all costs. What I remember about Anne of Green Gables what I can remember about it is that it's one of those few novels that at least tries to be concerned with the autonomy of children, and that's something that, especially in that time, that era, like, I mean, hell, even during the
they were working the mines.
Like nobody really gave a shit, and then especially too, like a girl, a female protagonist, like definitely like early kind of feminist literature, and just having an odd little girl, like that's what that's what she's been kind of remarked as, an odd little girl protagonist, and I just I love that.
It's very outspoken. She says what's on her mind, which is not common for the 1900s, early hundreds.
Yeah. this is 1908. So this is
I feel like women's suffrage didn't happen until like 1920 something. Am I misremembering?
women's suffrage happened.
Oh, it was passed in 1919. Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
close.
it was 1919.
So,
No, you're
okay. This was huge then. If they couldn't vote when this was out, first release.
yeah. So this is well before, like you said, women's suffrage, and like, so this is a little ahead of its time. Yeah, being outspoken. I mean, another way to introduce, like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but when I did read it, I enjoyed it because, like everything we've said, this is very like, this is before women's suffrage, so this is pretty ahead of its time, and really like something you just didn't see at the time for early 20th century with feminist literature, and bringing back something that is very much popular and well known, but at the same time as, you know, bringing it back now with a kind of a fresh, I mean, it's a fresh take. Yeah, a fresh take. I think Anne Shirley is just an incredible little series that I'm very excited to kind of be reintroduced to this character and this story.
Because I would never have revisited Anne of the Green Gables or any of that story, probably ever, if I did not see this was a thing.
Yeah.
Another thing is thrown in the well because I lost it. I forgot.
Right? Like I don't know what's going on with me. I'm like losing my train of thought here. Yeah, I agree though. I would have never really revisited Anne of the Green Gables. Not for any reason I hate it. It's just kind of would have slipped my mind, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like oh, here it is. It's another good thing about Anne Shirley is it's different from the traditional Japanese or anime tropes of the young child getting magical powers or action, whatever. It's something different from that, and you never get a realistic timepiece anime, really.
A historical, I mean, yeah, basically a historical literary reference like this.
I don't even think we'd get that in American cartoons either. This is something that's super unique.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna like. Even like I know like Anne of Green Gables. Like I know on the surface it probably doesn't sound really that unique. It's like, oh well, you know, we're following.
It's just unique in the real comparison to what is super popular now.
Well, and unique of how it's been adapted. What I'm trying to say is like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, Anne is just this little white girl that lives in Canada.
She's just this unique little white girl. This was huge in the 1900s. But quirky white girls were not allowed.
Exactly. If you have context about this, and the fact that they took this and gave it flair. I mean, this gorgeous animation style. You can't express enough. Like I said, like the characters, and like I said, those fish islands when we first get introduced to her. I hope that's used more because that was so funny to me. But like just man, it's just a gorgeous little kind of very Ghibli infused Western influenced anime that we just don't see enough. Like I wish there was more kind of like this about, like, rather than, you know, we see like with live action stuff. I wish they would do, I say this all the time, I wish they would do more of just like doing something unique, like with the animation. Like it doesn't have to always be live action, even if it has no magical or whatever. It can, like, why can't it be animated? You know, give it some flair, some style.
It's still complicated to do, but I also feel like it'd be cheaper than having to fucking do these huge fucking sets and making a horrible movie, and it also just look better.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really just loved about this.
I love Matthew. Matthew is a great character. He's a type of character that is in a bunch of media that I just love, no matter what. The kind big bear man, basically.
He's this gentle giant who, while he probably doesn't know much, he's at least willing to listen and like be very reasonable. I mean, like Anne is just throwing all this shit at him, and he's just like, Okay, so like the name of this first episode, right, is, well, we're talking a lot about this, but I love this episode. It's such an interesting world, and I think that's what really I love about Anne and this whole, like, the character and everything. It's just like she just talks about how the world is just so wondrous. There's just so much to learn and to try to discover and everything, and like really has that magic and wonder with the world that kids have for the most part, and adults really kind of have a hard time keeping. But like she's able to kind of reignite that into Matthew, being like, it's like he smiles, you can see it a bit whenever it's like, yeah, like the world is kind of crazy and beautiful, and like there's so much mystery. She kind of even, like, we see like a little bit with Marilla here as well, and I think that's what's really gonna, she's already grown on Matthew, and I know it's gonna probably take a bit for Marilla.
Also, just to give you a taste, no story stuff, but just a taste of the next 3 episode names. The second episode's called I Love Pretty Things. The third episode is Looking Forward to Things is Half the Pleasure of Them. And the fourth is One Can't Stay Sad Very Long in Such an Interesting World. These titles, these are the type of shit that make you feel all warm, and just remembering the innocence of being a child.
Like just the innocence and oh gosh, what's another word, like the sterileness of, or the purity of the world. Yeah,
it makes me curious about like if the series was being written around the time that World War I was happening, and if they got very serious all of a sudden due to it.
Or can you imagine though, like if World War I was happening, but like there's just a soldier in a trench and he's like, hey, it's like, yeah, what is it? Have you read Anne of Green Gables? It's like, no, what is that? It's just this nice little fucking book. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I don't have to worry about my leg being blown off.
Just looking at these release dates for these books is crazy. You got 1908, the first one, 1909, 1915, 1917. Then there's a break for a little bit. There's 1919. Then there's a break. 1936, 1939. That was the last one, 1939, from when she was alive. And then 2009. She was dead for a while when that came out. It was something she had already written, but it was never released. Damn! She's 75 in the 9th one.
Damn. Wow, you really follow her through her whole freaking life, huh?
And that's why I hope this show does well, because I kind of want to see if we can get that. I don't know if these books are any good after this, because I've only heard about Anne of Green Gables, but it's still, if it's as fun and warm as this one was, first episode, then sign me up.
Agreed. It was, it's just one of those really wholesome feeling series that I'm excited for. Wow, we spent 30 minutes on Aunt Shirley. Holy shit.
And this was one that I was not expecting. When I saw it on my anime list, I was like, ooh, this looks fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I will catch up or keep up with it. I will finish it. Nothing's going to stop me.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. That is My Hero Vigilantes. This premiered on April 7th. You can watch it on Crunchyroll. Number of episodes, we don't really know. Number of episodes out right now is 2. This is an adaptation of the already completed manga that me and Colt have both read and finished.
Yep,
so,
fully finished. I am a fan of the manga a good bit. There are times when I was reading it that I thought, this is better than My Hero's main manga. But that it has such high points that it rivals and sometimes is better than the main manga. But it does have some low points, I will say. But we're not here to review the manga.
We're here to talk about the first episode of this. So this was originally written by Hideyuki Furuhashi, and this was illustrated by Betancourt, just to give you a brief little idea there of that this wasn't Horikoshi. And
Boner came back. Boner film. Bones.
Yeah. This was developed by, done by Bones. So to give you a quick, just little premise here of what exactly Vigilantes is. This takes place 5 years before the main series. This story follows Koichi Himawari, a young man who uses his quirk to help others despite not being a licensed hero, which is why we get the name Vigilantes here. After he and the street performer Kazuho Hanayama, Pop Step is her name, are attacked by a group of thugs, they are saved by Knuckle Duster, who recruits Koichi and Kazuho to become
He's goated with the
vigilantes
sauce.
themselves.
I'm going ahead and say Knuckle Duster is my favorite vigilante character, period. He's just unhinged, insane, and I love him 100% for that. And they adapted him so fucking well. It's hilarious.
The what I love, go ahead and say about this Vigilantes I love is that they adapted this in the style of Betancourt rather than Horikoshi.
Which is pretty close.
Pretty close. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I love Betancourt style too. So, and with that added kind of like superhero comic book flair to it, this first episode looks so freaking good. I love the intro. It's all right. Oh God,
it's not. It's a great intro.
It's called All Right. Sorry, it's not all right. It's great. It's just that's what it's called. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, a very pretty outro as well. I really like the drifting they do with his barely faster than a bicycle quirk.
Yeah, and I love how they use some a little bit of watercolor kind of illustrations in there as well. Yeah, no, the intro was incredible, and outro. But Knuckle Duster, as Colt was saying, he's actually my favorite character as well. I love him. I remember when I had some kind of like Colt said with the low points in Vigilantes, I really did not like those, and I had some kind of like I have some pretty harsh criticism about the protagonist, but I won't talk about that here. But watching this, it gets me. It has rejuvenated my excitement for Vigilantes and to see specifically certain things I want to see animated, especially like with Knuckle Duster. You'll find out his backstory way later, but it's really fucking good. I love it.
They should have made him the main character, personally, because I love him that much.
I'm not gonna say anything because you're gonna get me into a whole fucking conversation. I kind of agree, to be fair. But anyway,
a dude without any quirks that goes around punching people.
That's a spoiler. The spoiler. Whoa.
Of the first episode.
It's not in the first episode. It's not in the first episode.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, spoiler. He doesn't have any quirks.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool reveal though. Gosh, I can't say. You got to watch the second episode if you really love My Hero and you really like this first episode. Go ahead and watch the second episode. No, it's really crazy the work that Knuckle Duster does and how much of it he gets done. Like, like you said with spoiler, without any quirks.
He's just unhinged. You're my apprentice now. He basically kidnapped Koichi into being his apprentice. It's pretty awesome.
Pretty much.
He broke into his house. It's awesome. Drank his beer.
But to give you an idea of like Koichi too. Koichi is just his first year college student who works kind of like a retail job. He doesn't really do much, but what he does do that really makes him really helps him relieve stress is his kind of technically vigilante work still is he uses his quirk to basically just kind of help with stuff around the town, like picking up trash, helping people with directions, helping people take pictures, what have you, just kind of ordinary tasks. He's just a nice guy. That's his name for this first part, is they call him Mr. Nice Guy. And his signature suit is that he wears an All Might hoodie with the little the tip of the hairs on top, so they kind of look like bunny ears, kind of similar to Deku's costume. And he wears a common just black mask, face mask. And his quirk is Slide and Glide, where it's just he has to have at least 3 points of contact, and then he can slide on any surface. But
pretty lame quirk.
it's not really that fast either. There's even a joke in the very beginning where he's using it to get to his job, and people are like, "Oh, he kind of looks like a cockroach."
Yeah.
It's very funny. But yeah, and in this universe, if you don't know, if you're using your quirk without a license, like you're a hero or whatever, that's considered also illegal. Which is also why you'd be considered a vigilante too.
I think that's fucking stupid. Like, there's got to be exemptions. Like, this is not a dangerous quirk. He literally barely goes faster than a bike.
It doesn't matter, my guy. We all know how laws and everything and how restrictive they are, especially
That's so stupid.
In the My Hero universe. We've had this conversation with Pat too, which Pat is currently catching up with vigilantes right now, with the manga.
I don't know where he's at. He hasn't said anything in a bit.
He is not, but
we're gonna have to harass him. Pat, if you're listening to this and we haven't harassed you, harass yourself for us and tell us.
Yeah, tell us, Pat. But yeah, which has also kind of rejuvenated my my excitement for this as well. Yeah, we even had a huge conversation about this because if you don't know, there was some slight controversy when Vigilantes was announced. The Japanese title, or
crazy, cannot fly here.
It's called My Hero Academia Illegals Vigilantes. That it's reversed. It's Vigilantes Illegals. It had illegals in the English translation, and obviously that's not, that doesn't fly.
I don't understand why they don't just call it vigilantes, period, because vigilante implies doing illegal things.
Well, we had a huge conversation about this, and it's because okay, so in my original explanation of the Vigilantes title right here, I did not really do a good job. I was basically kind of just rambling, so I wanted to give a better explanation. So basically, the idea here of why it's called Vigilantes Illegals is because in most normal, in the real world with comics and stuff, vigilantes are considered heroes, but in the universe of My Hero, as we all know, like in real life as well, vigilantism is illegal. But specifically in My Hero, they wanted to make sure there's a difference, or at least people understand the difference that vigilante and hero are two completely separate things. Because like in most like Marvel or DC, vigilantes are still viewed as heroes, but they wanted to make sure they are completely separate in My Hero, and make sure understand that vigilantes blur, like, not necessarily, well, they basically blur the line, but they are can be seen even more so as villains as well, in the eyes of heroes and the law in My Hero. And so that's why, to make sure that people understand that what they're doing is explicitly illegal, and that's kind of like the or that's one of the devices that's used against our characters here in Vigilantes, is that what they're doing is illegal, and that they want to make explicitly sure that this kind of gives them more conflict and struggle as they try to do, or as they try to help people. So I just wanted to give a better explanation than what I originally gave, because I couldn't remember the original conversation that we had, and I was close, but not added a little reverse there. But yeah, so back to the regular episode.
I still think it's stupid to call it vigilante.
It is dumb. They should just call it vigilantes. They shouldn't have had illegal, but since what they're doing is illegal, they're going to call them illegals. I don't. It's it's very bad, especially with with what's going on in the world.
They should have just called My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia students learning how to be heroes, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Which is another stupid name. That's what I was implying.
So our other protagonist here is going to be Pop Step. She's kind of like this. She's a street performer, kind of a vigilante pop star. Not more so, not more so pop star than anything.
In
kind
the
of
idol culture specifically.
Putting on these kind of basically like illegal performances of her just doing idol performance on the street. Technically she falls in the vigilante kind of thing, but she more so falls into it when she starts helping Knuckle Duster and Koichi. Her
also,
quirk is
another
leap.
thing is this is a nice thing about this one is that they're all adults doing also kind of like, this is kind of spoilers for the manga, but you can kind of see what their day-to-day life has going on for them and how the vigilantism affects them in the future, which is nice.
Pop Step technically isn't an adult. She is still in high school.
I was going to say spoiler, never mind. I was going to ask about the mall situation.
The mall situation.
When she worked at the mall?
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, you're not, God, I don't remember. For the most part, from what we know, I'll say it's not a spoiler because that's what they say in the episode that she's a high school student. I can't remember if there's anything revealed later. We also see, I should mention this, we see Deku's mom.
Yeah, I got MILF sighting outside the 7-Eleven.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, you're right. Deku's mom is ugly.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What do you?
Oh,
what do you
okay.
want me to
So,
say? What do you want me to say?
So, did you not spot the MILF? Are you blind to the MILF?
What do you want me to say, Colt? My eyes were glued to the fucking screen. MILF radar on, looking for some just absolute glistening baddie, just goon fucking material.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start Punisher screaming. I don't know where I was going with that too. I was trying to think of some like
Deku's like 10 years old at home and his dad's not home. You know what? Let me talk to you, lady. I'm saying if I was Koichi, I would have hit her up a little bit more and I would have became the stepfather of the future hero of
one of the greatest heroes of all time.
Koichi fumbled.
I'm gonna have to cut some stuff.
You don't have to cut that. What are you talking about?
I'm this is so stupid. What was I fucking saying? Pop Step has the leap quirk, which is just as simple. Her chicken leap in the air. That's how she really kind of puts on her shows. It's through her leaping.
It feels like some kind of gravity manipulation as well, because she just floats, not like float staying in the air, but like kind of like softly falls.
Yeah, so it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty nice. You know, yeah. So yeah, we have these three douchebags who have been messing with Koichi this entire episode.
They managed to make him look worse in the anime.
Yeah. They end up again attacking Koichi because him and Pop Step kind of meet up just like out of the kind of random. Because since they're both kind of like vigilantes, that after he gets done doing his nice guy stuff and after she's done with her performances, she kind of meets him in an alley, gives him something to drink or whatever. But then the guys kind of they assault them and
it's not as graphic as it is in the manga. I will say that.
I was gonna say, I was like, I'm glad they changed that, because originally in the manga, this first part, because they basically grab Pop Step and they kind of pin her. Sounds really bad. It is really bad.
They do they do that in the anime. They basically imply we're gonna rape you. They kind of do it in the anime as well, but not as badly. But it's still not good.
So the manga was basically like they're going to assault her. And in the anime, they basically say, like, we're going to strip you naked and take pictures of you. Still really fucking bad. And Koichi's like, he's like, he tries to stop them, but
he's just a dude. And the guy he attacked is like some fire bulky man that is clearly outclassing Koichi in strength.
Yeah. And then not only that, the head guy who has a spike quirk, he's gonna pretty much stab him, like, and if nobody else was there to intervene, they would have, man, it would have been so bad, really bad.
Thank God for Knuckle Duster.
Thank God for Knuckle Duster. I smiled ear to ear because he's basically like, in terms of like image, he's basically All Might.
But evil, but not like in the movie.
Not really. More like Dark All Might, kind of, but like also, again, not really, because he comes in with a smile on his face,
smashes through some fucking trash bags. He jumps off of a fucking building.
He even says he's like, not the perfect landing, but hey, it's a cushion. And of course he has knuckle dusters, and he proceeds to just knock the shit out of these guys. Personally, if I was knuckle duster, I would have gone even further. That's just me. What you're doing is already illegal.
I think he was gonna go further, but someone intervened.
No, I think this
that happens later. There are times where he's about to go berserk, but Popstep and Koichi say, "Hold up."
But the reason why he's even doing what he's doing is because he's there's a drug going around, Trigger. This is something that's also in the main series where people use this to enhance their quirks or whatever. But this is very dangerous because it's causing pop-up villains to appear and stuff. The way they check to see if somebody's taken Trigger is you grab their tongue, see if it's darkened, like almost black. None of these guys had it, of course, but yeah. So then he that's what he tells them. That's kind of his mission. He's trying to find the dealer so he can put a stop to it. And then he recruits Koichi into this, and basically Popstep, because she just kind of helps them with their investigation. These three guys do end up getting Trigger that we see later, because we get introduced to this mysterious figure with a scar on his face. And then then towards the end of the episode, Knuckle Duster almost beats the shit out of this guy with hero toys. He has Endeavor, All Might, and somebody else I can't remember. It was pretty funny because Knuckle Duster's like, that's kind of creepy.
What kind of freak plays with children toys?
It's just like, that's pretty, and the Popstep is like, that's pretty common actually. But then Eraserhead jumps in, stops Knuckle Duster from doing anything else, and that's where the episode ends. I know people were screaming, who have not read Vigilantes. They're like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get Eraserhead."
Hey, if you haven't read the manga, you're gonna see a lot of that dude.
Yeah, if you haven't read the manga, Vigilantes is just a kind of I know, like, if you have watched the show, if you're up to where it is now, that there's some Eraserhead backstory that gets covered in this. We get a lot of Eraserhead backstory. A lot of the heroes that we do see in the main show, we also get in here as well. So yeah, we get that.
But I'm very excited to see more of this because it's super cool. I enjoy in some of the action scenes, they will animate it like the manga, and they'll have like super cool like comic book wham pows booms. It's very cool.
when Knuckle Duster is drinking the beer out of Koichi's refrigerator, he says, "Oh, you're too young for this. I want to confiscate this." But when he's drinking it, it says "gulp, gulp, gulp." I love it. The intro, as I said before, just awesome, like with the music, but also the animation, and like we also get the double black bars as well, so it looks very cinematic. But I'm excited for the rest of this, as Colt says.
Amen.
Next up, Devil May Cry.
Ooh, very, very excited for this.
Cue awesome guitar intro. Let's go.
What you doing now? Rolling, rolling, rolling.
That's perfect. Yeah. So Devil May Cry. This is a new Devil May Cry anime series. This premiered on April 3rd. You can currently watch this on Netflix, and there's 8 episodes. They're all out, so you can binge it if you want to.
Hey, if I didn't have to watch any other anime, I probably would have binged it because it's fucking awesome.
I've never played Devil May Cry. I have really no kind of background or experience other than like I've heard it. I've seen some crazy shit from the games, and that's really it.
I've never beaten a Devil May Cry game, but I've played them on and off, and I don't think I was old enough to appreciate them. My taste hadn't evolved enough. Now I really want to replay every single one of them because I have played every single one of them, but I never made it far because I always found it too difficult or the story just didn't grab me enough. Like Devil May Cry 5, the story wasn't necessarily grabbing me, but the silly moments were what kept me going, like fucking Dante doing a little dance, which is a thing that pops up in the first episode. But this is him younger.
Oh yeah, this is created by Adi Shankar. If I'm saying that wrong, animated by Studio Mur.
This is technically not anime.
Technically not. If you don't know who that studio is, they are the same people who made Legend of Korra, the fourth season of the Boondocks, Voltron, Legendary Defender, and other stuff. So they have a pretty big repertoire.
And the English voice cast for this game is fucking great. They got Johnny Young Bosch, who you'd know as Ichigo Kurosaki. They got Scout Taylor Compton. I don't know who she has played, but I do recognize her voice. Yeah, let me look at it.
Go ahead.
I shouldn't recognize her voice. I don't recognize any of this.
You're just looking at a spreadsheet of like numbers.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this shit means. But she plays this lady. Johnny Young Bosch is Dante. Hoon Lee, which is a name I do know because I definitely have seen him voice act, at least in some video games, specifically Grand Theft Auto. Oh my gosh. I swear I know that name. You know, I don't recognize anything he's been in either. What the fuck?
So you're just you're just pulling shit out of your ass, huh?
I do know Johnny Young Bosch. He's a legendary voice actor. Chris Coppola is a fucking Coppola.
But Colt, don't you realize you're also a Coppola?
Where's my goddamn money? I gotta direct a movie. Kevin Conroy, though, as William Baines. Kevin Conroy, it's Batman.
Rest in peace. This is
one of his last roles because Ian James Corlett provided additional dialogue for the character for certain scenes after he died.
Wow. Kevin Conroy did a lot of stuff before he died.
Oh, yeah. He was a busy man. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, damn. So the premise of this is the series follows the demon hunter for hire, Dante, as he attempts to foil a demonic invasion of Earth headed by a powerful demon known as the White Rabbit. While he is also being hunted by the government organization Dark Realm Command, under Vice President William Baines. I'll go ahead and tell you the plot summary for the first episode. So the White Rabbit, a demonic terrorist, orchestrates a break-in at the Vatican City Museum so that he could steal the Force Edge, a sword once owned by the legendary demon Sparta, who turned it against his own kind to side with humanity and create a magical barrier between hell and earth. Whenever this rabbit pops up, I had to stop. I was like, is this the right thing?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I was so confused. I was like, wow. Like, this rabbit, man, this is crazy shit. The rabbit kills his soldiers, blows up the building, announcing that he must find a demon hunter as part of his plan to destroy the barrier and usher in the apocalypse. In the wake of the attack, the U.S. government meet with Dr. Fisher, a scientist from Darkcom, an interdimensional security firm funded by Vice President Baines, to strategize a response. Interrogating information broker Enzo Farino, Baines and Fisher deduced that the White Rabbit cannot destroy the barrier without Sparta's magical amulet, which he split in two halves to make it harder to find. Enzo tells them that the White Rabbit is looking for a hunter named Dante and realize that he must have the missing piece. Meanwhile, Dante faces off against Plasma, a shape-shifting demon who, despite taking the form of a baby, Dante's deceased twin brother Virgil, it is unsuccessful in stealing his half of the amulet. I thought it was so funny because I knew it was coming whenever the baby gets replaced, and then Dante fights all these demons, and this woman's like, thank you for saving me and my baby, blah, blah, blah. And he looks at the baby, and then the baby starts attacking him, but the woman doesn't see. And so when he pulls back, he just pulls his gun out of his baby. I'm like, just start unloading on that carriage, man. Just unload. Like, how insane that's going to look.
And this woman just runs away with his not her baby. The thing is, that baby's definitely dead. Like, it was kidnapped by a demon. Where the fuck is that baby?
Nah, that baby's gone. Who knows? Maybe it's going to become the Antichrist.
We'll have to find out. But it was super well animated. The whole Vatican sequence was my favorite because just watching these dudes break in to the Vatican just to steal shit, which was a cover for the Bunny Man. And the rabbit fucking slices, dices them up in beautifully animated way. It was insane seeing how well animated it was.
It's very well done.
Gruesome, very violent.
Gruesome, so gruesome. It's just so funny to me that the Swiss Guard are all walking around with halberds. I'm like, don't you fucking guys have guns? I know.
I think they have both.
I know they have both. I've seen, like, there's pictures of it. They have a huge arsenal. I'm like, what are you guys doing? This should not be happening right now. Pathetic is what I say. Yeah, no, it was crazy. But no, Dante though fighting those demons later was so funny because he pulls off this kick-ass one-liner, but then he tries to do another one and he's like, wait, hold on. Like, he's like, pretend I shot him. Bang. He was like, Skeletor's been out of style since the 80s.
That's another thing about the Devil May Cry games is like I wasn't, I guess, intelligent enough to appreciate the humor in them when I was younger when I played them. But now that's fucking funny. That's all the Dante is just a silly Billy of a dude. And that's all his character is, really.
I don't know if we want to say like it requires like higher intelligence to understand because it's so stupid, but then at the same time I feel like only like I know me, I'm speaking for me, like a kid who tries again to act smart is just like, oh, that's not funny. But I don't know if it's also because our brains are so rotted, we're like we're just screaming at the screen because it's so funny. I don't know which is which. No, this thing is so much funnier than I expected it. So wow, like again, the animation's been really sick, just really popping off. The end of it with Dante dancing was so fucking awesome. Like, it's killing me how funny it was. It was so awesome. Yeah,
this had me wanting to start my playthrough of the first game. It was just too fucking fun to not want to.
Because not only does it cut to like Dante actually dancing, it also cuts to like a PS2 or PS1 era game character dancing as well.
He's playing Dance Revolution, but he's doing poorly because he fails the dancing in the game. It says fail.
Game over. Great. It's so good. There was a character. So all the stuff that happens, like whatever, cool, you know, this white rabbit. But there is a character that we see get the shit beaten out of because they're just hunting all these demon hunters to find Dante, and he looked like oh gosh, he looked like a ripoff of Vampire Hunter D, I think, the Vampire Hunter guy, because he had the white hair, the glasses, the hat, everything. He said that his whole thing was just a get up. I think that was a reference to that. I never looked that up. I thought that was funny. Oh my god. Okay, wait a minute. I have to bring this up too. Fucking, there are weird things about the creator of this because Osmongold is in the show technically as well.
Yeah, I saw that. He even replied to him saying that, yeah, that character is kind of based on you. But the thing is, that character is not exactly put in a good light. He's the insane, like, loudmouth guy saying, like, the demons are here. But then again, like, maybe, like, he's saying, like, Asmongold's right. Because in this case, yeah, the demons are here in this universe. There
was specifically, I don't know. Have you seen it? Like, there was specifically a tweet or something from the creator. One of them, he like basically supports Asmongold.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let me see real quick, just so I'm not pulling stuff out of my ass. Yeah, so this is like that was right. This is about a week ago. So yes, the showrunner, the producer Adi Shankar, like I said, has publicly praised and thanked Osmongold. He wrote on X, this is a tweet, they laughed at Osmongold and worshiped the late night talk show puppets who were built to distract them from the truth. Yeah.
That's not good.
That is a direct quote. That was something I was going to bring up about this, but kind of slipped my mind until literally right before we did this. I was like, shit. But yeah, so that is something interesting.
You know, he's one shitty man that took part in it. You know what? Don't let that deter you still. It's good, great first episode.
It's a great first episode. I agree. It's just really crazy that that's in there.
The scene with Virgil, you don't really know who Virgil is, but he's
a poet.
Yeah. But he's Dante's brother. And in this scene, you can hear my favorite Devil May Cry related song, and that is Bury the Light, which is Virgil's theme whenever he pops up in Devil May Cry 5. But it's slightly remixed. It goes hard as hell. The soundtrack for this anime is insane. The fact that the opening song is Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, which is peak new metal early 2000s, which is what this game was. It's so fucking good. And they got Evanescence, I think. Is it Evanescence for the outro? But it's very popular bands from the new metal-ish scene in the early 2000s. It's great shit.
Yes, it's Evanescence. It's Afterlife.
Yes.
All right. Well, are we ready to go on to the next one?
Yay!
All right. Next up is Lazarus. Yes, it is the man who rose back from the dead. You're right. It is Easter Sunday when we're recording this, so we got to talk about it.
That's true.
And Jesus. I don't know.
Thank you, Jesus, for letting me eat deviled eggs today. I've eaten 3 eggs total of deviled eggs, but I plan to eat at least 2 more before the night falls.
Thank you, Jesus. No, this is Lazarus. This is a new series being produced by Mappa and Soul Entertainment that is created and directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, who, for those unfamiliar, that is the same person who created Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, and Carol and Tuesday, and Terror in Resonance.
So he's kind of a legendary director.
Very much a legendary director. This premiered on Adult Swim's Toonami programming block on April 6th, and currently has, as far as we know, 13 episodes for this season. So yeah, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, I've I've seen stuff here and there about it. I knew it was from this, legendary creator, but
Mappa.
And it's Mappa too. I did not know it was Mappa as well. I guess I've been very ignorant of this, but yeah, this is a huge deal. So to give you the basic plot here, in the utopian year of 2052. Also, all this information, this is from Wikipedia, by the way. This isn't most of this, everything I've said is from Wikipedia. 2052, the genius neuroscientist Dr. Skinner has discovered a miracle drug known as Hapna, which basically is like it's like a painkiller, but like a
it's a miracle drug, basically.
Miracle drug. See, okay, I've never pronounced this word that it has on here, analgesic. I've never pronounced that, so that's why I didn't say it at first, because like I'm just
analgesic.
No idea.
All right.
Is it analgesic?
I think so.
Okay. But I got scared, so I didn't say it. But it's a painkiller, a miracle drug, Hapna, that completely relieves the user of any pain shortly before proceeding to disappear off the face of the earth. The doctor. Then 3 years later, in 2055, Dr. Skinner resurfaces to the public in an online video to announce that the drug has a 3-year half-life, and soon everyone who took it will die. A task force of 5 agents is assembled to locate Skinner within 30 days before the first wave of Hapna users die, and create a vaccine. Its name is Lazarus.
Yeah, that first episode, it sold me completely. That sounds fucking awesome. Just the whole, yeah, I gave everybody a drug. Now you're all gonna die. That sounds super interesting. Now you have a fucking squad of badass people hunting you down. That's awesome. And it's called Lazarus. And also all the women in this are baddies, even the fucking older lady. What the fuck?
I was like, damn, that basically the commanding leader of Lazarus team, her name is Hirsch. We see her, I'm like, damn. we got a baddie alert. Yeah, no. And is that iconic that iconic style known that we see with Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, Cowboy Bebop. Very just the animation's incredible, fluid. As Colt says, the premise was just sounds just right up my alley. Music crazy. It's music's being done by Kamasi, Washington, Bonobo, and Floating Points. I don't know Floating Points or Bonobo much, but Kamasi,
They got
Washington,
an animal on this?
Yeah,
a bonobo?
Yeah, they do. Washington was the name that really stuck out to me. I was like, oh shit. Very, very famous jazz performer and composer. So that's like a lot of, like, again, just I don't know.
That's that Adult Swim coming in for the music, thankfully, because that's one thing that Jason can do. Jason DeMarco is he's got great taste in music.
That's Adult Swim, man. They've been, getting together and putting out just incredible free stuff from artists for years now. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called now, but they would have that program for the longest time where every
Adult Swim singles.
That's what it is. Jesus Christ, I haven't heard that. I don't know if they're still doing that anymore. But yeah, like that, just putting to this seems, honestly, it makes so much sense for them to put this together because Adult Swim, known for Toonami and those late night lo-fi vibes, creator of some of the biggest anime in history, and then also too just a superb choice of music. Yeah, this makes so much sense. I still would never saw it coming.
And they got the Boo Radleys doing the ending, which I've never really listened to them, but I know the name because it's a pretty popular band.
I thought that was the guy from Kill a Mockingbird.
I think it is, but the band is called the Boo Radleys.
I'm joking, yeah. The opening song is Vortex, and then as Colt said, the Boo Radleys perform the ending theme song, which is Lazarus. And the opening is performed by Kamasi, Washington. Dark Will Fall is an insert song performed at the beginning of the first episode by Bonobo, featuring Jacob Lusk. Yeah, and it seems like too, like with what we see and with or if anybody's familiar with the past works here, is that there is a considerable amount of physical, like, movement parkour, but it seems like now it seems like parkour is more heavily in this with this urban environment that we're getting. Seems to be more prevalent than the past stuff, because our main character that we follow for what I assume is Axel Gilberto, a 23-year-old Brazilian man who's in jail for 30 years at this point, but he has a total life sentence of 888 years because he keeps trying to break out. And this time when he does it, he shows incredible just parkour skills. Most of the episode is the Lazarus team trying to get him so that they can help find Dr. Skinner. And it's pretty sick. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty fucking awesome. And the only thing that can get him is a baddie. Yeah,
because so our main team here is we have Doug. He's again, this is only the first episode, so I'm kind of going off of what we have here, but I won't read too much into this. He's a young Nigerian man who intellectual and the coordinator of the Lazarus team. We have Christine, who is this gun specialist, and who is a young Russian woman who's generally cheerful and frank, and yeah, I'm just gonna, and that's the baddie Colt is referring to, and I'll tell you here in a second. Leland, who is a Canadian teen who flies drones for them.
He made a big fuck up in this episode. He should not have flown his drone.
Alina is a 15-year-old girl from Hong Kong who is basically like their hacker kind of person. And then, as I said, Fort Hirsch is kind of the commander of them. But yeah, what ends up happening is that they kind of back him in. They back Axel into a corner, and Chris pretends to be just a random woman on the street who sees all of his stuff that he's doing. So she gets kind of like acts excited and wants to take a picture of him, and that's how she's able to detain him, is she basically knocks him out. Pretty smart. Just incredible first episode. Like I said, this all this parkour and physical movement, but also this sci-fi urban sci-fi, not too far off from the future.
Just 25 years.
This design is really sick. Yeah, I'm very excited because we have a ticking clock, and like literally the end of the world. Leland, the Canadian kid I was talking about, was actually in school at the time when the announcement came on, and he just said, I don't care about school anymore. What does it matter? Everybody's gonna die.
If I took that medicine and I saw that announcement, fuck, I'd do anything I wanted, basically.
Yeah, because nobody knows because Skinner says he has a cure, but they have to find him. Somebody has to find him. Like the governments are trying to develop cures of their own, but like again, nobody. There's not a guarantee. So yeah, totally.
I want to know why this fucker did this. Why create such a nice thing, or seemingly, but also it'll kill you. But also maybe it's not that bad if there is a cure for it. So why doesn't he just fucking give the cure?
Well, he says. Yeah, we find out, but in his video message, he says that he's seen how humanity, what it's done to the earth, what it does to its own people. He says that humanity is more concerned with short-term gains rather than long-term stability and generally trying to better the world. And so that's, I think, from what we can infer, that the drug was kind of his experiment of like, okay, what's going to happen? So the experiment probably was that, this is me making a guess, by the way. The experiment was to see, will the whole population just welcome this drug and just take it and basically become addicted to it? Or will they actually reject it and think, hey, we need to actually, do something about the world? Like maybe like this drug is like, again, like it might bring a lot of people, or might bring people a lot of peace and maybe enough clarity to be like, maybe we need to help each other rather than everybody getting super addicted and not really caring about each other. And so it kind of proves his point that nobody really gives a shit about the world or each other. And so it's like, well, you know what? Fuck humanity. This is kind of on you guys. But hey, if you're that desperate, I'll give you the cure. Let's see where this takes us, And I'm like, I want to see where this goes. I want to see what's going on. But yeah, anything else?
No, I'm very excited for this. This is one of the most anticipated of this crop. So hell yes, Lazarus.
Hell yeah! All right, going on to the final one. These aren't ranked in any order, by the way. I just had these on the sheet, or on our doc here. Now, if you want us to rank them, we could.
I mean, we'll rank them after this last one.
Yeah, personal rankings, but I'd have to think about that. So next up, final one of this crop is Mobile Suit Gundam. I hate it. I hate saying this name. G-Cux. Goddamn.
It's Cux.
I'm going to refer to it as GQX because that name is so stupid. 6 U's. It's GQ 6 U's X. That's so bad. I hate that.
I'm gonna call it Gundam Cux.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, because we know that in the show the G stands for Gundam, and then they say Gundam Cux, or they just say Cux. So they don't say G Cux. They say Cux. Whatever. I hate saying it. I've said it too much already. This is the newest Mobile Suit Gundam series. produced by Sunrise and Studio Kara, which, for those unfamiliar, that is the same studio founded by Hideki Anno, who creates Evangelion. And you see a lot of those Evangelion influences in here as well. It's billed as the 16th installment of the Gundam franchise and the second television series to be aired during Japan's Reiwa era, and the second in a row to feature a female lead. For anybody who doesn't remember, there was the Witch from Mercury.
Still got to finish that.
I need to as well. This officially premiered on April 9th. It is currently on Prime Video, and the number of episodes has not been outright stated. There was a movie that puts together the first 3 episodes that was released back in January of this year. For us here in North America, it was released in March. I actually went and saw it with a couple of mutual friends of ours. I had a great time. I loved it, as you can tell, which is why we have the first episode on here. What I found confusing and weird is that, I know, Colt, you said this, but it didn't really click with me that, so the movie that they showed in the theaters, they have the second episode play first rather than the first episode on the Prime Video.
I mean, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense because, if you're listening, this isn't. I'm going to spoil this for you. So the second episode is basically a little bit of backstory about this universe, because this is an alternate series where Zeon won the war, and the second episode basically goes into all of that backstory, most of it. And so for some reason, for the Prime Video showing, or on Prime Video, they have it listed as a second episode. But as I was saying to Cole, when we watched it, or when me and our friends watched it in theaters, the second episode was actually, they showed it first to give that backstory. And I don't know why they wouldn't do it any other way. That's what they did.
For this episode, we're just talking about the first episode that aired on Prime.
Yeah, and see, that's what's annoying, because, like, if you didn't, like, technically all that stuff I just told you doesn't happen until the second episode, but that's kind of what the big draw of this series is. So yeah. Should also mention that this is also produced by the same creators who worked on the Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, the newer Pokemon, such as like Sun and Moon to like even I think Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, so there's
the character designs, that is.
The character designs look very much like the newer Pokemon series characters. The mechanical designs are done by Ikoto Yamashita, and again, these the Gundams at least have similar builds to the Evas in the Rebuild series. But yeah, so to give you basically the plot here of this first episode, 5 years after the Principality of Zeon won the 1-year war, Amate Yuzuriha, goddamn, I'm sorry, Yuzuriha, a high school student living on the space colony Side 6, crosses paths with Neon, a war refugee. Her encounter with Neon leads her to get involved in an incident with both the Principality of Zeon and the space police are pursuing the missing Red Gundam after it reemerges 5 years after disappearing. To catch the Red Gundam, Zeon sends out Xavier Olivet in the GCUX, a prototype Gundam meant for new type pilots. However, while trying to capture the Red Gundam, Xavier crashes into the space colony and is ejected from the GCUX. Amate jumps into the cockpit of the GCUX, steals it, and subsequently defeats the police force, allowing the Red Gundam to escape. And that's kind of it. That's all I'm going to say for that. That's the first episode here.
This is awesome. I'm a huge fan of the mobile suit designs. That's one of my favorite things about Gundam is the mobile suits, obviously. And since they're made by or designed by the same person that designed goddamn Ava's, they look similar, Ava-like, kind of biological in a way. It's crazy, like this what-if scenario. Well, it's not necessarily a what-if. It's kind of like an alternate timeline because it re-shows, technically episode 2, it reshows the beginning of Gundam, but with these designs. So it's technically not it's not an alternate ending. It's like an alternate timeline.
Yes, as we stated multiple
I know.
times.
But still, these suits look fucking phenomenal. I need to get the model kits of the white suit and the red suit. And I'm looking at pre-order prices for the red suit, which comes out in August here, at least on Amazon, which means probably comes out July. $30. That is not bad at all for the red suit. It even comes with both the fucking shoulder-mounted funnels that it lets go and it just goes fucking crazy. I love those funnels. They look crazy.
Yeah, this first episode's called Red Gundam. The second episode's called White Gundam. You make some guesses.
Third episode's Black Gundam. Fourth is Purple Gundam. 6 Orange. It's not.
Okay. Don't lie to people, Colt. Thank you.
I love the V-fin on the main Gundam. I don't even know what to call it. The Cuck? I'm gonna call it the Cuck. Is the fucking mobile suit, it looks insane. The V-fin I really like because it acts as like an eye guard until it acts to PSICOMs, and once that activates, it actually shoots up, revealing the eyes. It's super sick.
Yeah, I love goddamn, I hate the name. Cucks. It is I even after seeing it in action too, it's probably what my favorite poster child Gundam design. It's like, you know, they're all unique, but like this is the most unique really in terms of like having well, I can't say that because basically the poster child body design is the body design that all of them have. But I love, I guess for me, I love the Evas, and so to see that in here, but for them to translate over into mobile suit was not something I ever imagined it even could possibly look good, and it looks really good. They have that very skinny torso and the feet being kind of more pointed, but also like the legs are pretty crazy. They're not orthodox. They're very I don't even know what to call those design for the feet because they don't
see the feet doing like unique animations. Not animation,
it doesn't
unique movements
straight away. It doesn't connect directly to the leg. It's basically there's a joint that clips to the leg, and then it comes on the outside, and then the foot. Like it's completely almost. I don't know how to describe it. External, almost like,
and it's got a huge hole, like a gap in where you're like the sole, not sole. What is the middle of your foot called?
The heel?
No, that's the bottom, like the back.
Oh, the ankle. My bad. The ankle. Fuck.
No, the middle of your foot, the bottom middle of your foot, where the arch is.
The ball?
No, that's the heel. Whatever.
No, the heel. The heel and the ball are two different things.
How? The heel is the back, bottom of the foot, and the ball is the ball of the foot, which is the heel.
The ball. No, the ball is the middle of the foot.
No.
Yes.
I thought the ball was the heel because it's shaped like a ball.
No, the heel is the heel of the foot. Yeah.
All right, foot fetish experts, please sign in. Foot fetish freaks, tell us. No. Please educate us on feet.
I'm going to tell you right here. So, yeah, the ball of the foot refers to the rounded, padded area of the bottom of your foot between the toes and the arch.
Just the heel.
Between the toes and the arch. Between where the area is attached.
Oh, that's not where I was talking about. That's not.
You're wrong, and you're wrong, and you can't admit it. I see.
That's not what I was thinking about. Anyways, in the mobile suit, there's a massive hole in the middle of the foot, not the ball, not the heel, in the middle with the arch. There's a scientific term I'm blanking out on, but still, that entire area has been ripped out, and it's a rocket, and it looks awesome.
I'll tell you something really fucking funny, man. Ball of the foot. Where did I get this information from? The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute.
Joy. Jerk off instructions.
Those perverts.
Oh my god. Are you gonna listen to some perverts? I requested some foot fetish freaks to send in, so
hold on. I'll look it up for you. Middle of the foot name. Oh, wow. Don't you look like a fucking idiot?
What?
Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Really? You're fucking me up here. Midfoot.
Okay, sure.
It's called the midfoot.
I guess they kind of phoned that in when they were doing the names.
Wow, we spent a lot of time on the Gundam's foot, huh?
It's because both of the feet. This is unique. This is a very unique feat for a Gundam, which is a crazy thing to say. But there's holes where the boosters are. This is a very unique. It's not on any other Gundam. Of course, there are boosters on the bottom of feet, but these are like mega boosters, like that you'd normally seen on the backpacks, but they're on the feet, which could like technically make it like super sick and maybe martial arts. I don't know. Thinking about rocket kicks and shit.
Oh, that was something I was gonna say about this. We're still talking about the feet. The feet, which reminds me of the feet design. Looks crazy because when I look at it, I think there's no way this thing. It's very clearly only meant for space combat because as soon as this thing would touch the ground, I mean, its leg's gonna go right through the floor. Because there's no way. Because the feet are connected on a God, talking about this so much, you've made me think, okay, so basically the feet are connected at an ankle joint, but on the side of the leg. That's how the feet connect. And that's very unique.
And it's only on the cuck. It's not on the Red Gundam. The Red Gundam has normal feet. The same thing with like any of the Zaku's as well. It's just a very unique to the cuck.
And what's the Zaku designs are really cool too. Their designs are also too very much adhering to the same aesthetics with like I said, the Evas and this and the Gundam, but they are still recognizable not only due to their head but also their
I feel like they're the least changed of the Gundams.
Exactly.
Or mobile
they're
suits.
The least changed. They're still more boxy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm looking at the model kit for the cuck. It looks so good.
It looks very good.
I have to own one. I still need to get a Witch from Mercury mobile suit as well. Just the main ones. I want to get all the cover mobile suits just to have in my collection. I pretty much own every single one except for these two. But I just need them.
God. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. We got so sidetracked talking about this fucking thing's feet.
They're unique. They are noteworthy. Not jack off worthy.
I don't remember what I was going to say. I just love the designs.
Even the shield looks pretty crazy because it's like, it's small. It's meant for like close combat. It feels like not just its shield, but the shields that they have all throughout. It feels like there's going to be a way more close combat, similar to Iron-Blooded Orphans, and there is ranged combat.
I really want the kits for both of these.
They even have like little orange highlights that look so sick. Oh my god, I love these. I love them.
Colt mentioned this too about how when the Red Gundam is fighting, it has the head mounted guns, but like they're not in pods, so they're belt fed, so you can see the belts, and it's pretty sick. And then at the very end, we get this really kind of psychedelic experience with our main character here. And when she's going through it, we see the Red Gundam is also connected in this experience, and you just see the Red Gundam as the pilot looking back, but through the Gundam back at her, and the eyes are just so wide. Again, getting some very good Eva vibes here. Yeah, and then there's like Eva style action shots whenever our main girl is going to fight or whatever. Like when she's pulling up on the joysticks or whatever. Very like Asuka style kind of shots there.
Hopefully, no hospital scene in this one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's a thing that happened, man.
I know it happened. It's just Jesus Christ. God, I'm trying to think anything else of note.
It's a little off-putting since the characters are designed by the Pokemon designer, because it just feels like this is a weird Pokemon spinoff collab.
It does, but it's gorgeous.
It is.
And with the Gundams too, they go with that really good 3D style. Yeah, it's very, very good. Yeah, I mean, just setting up. Again, I think it was a bad choice to put this episode first. because we're going right into freaking basically a flashback in the second episode. So it's pretty jarring to say the least. And people will see why. But no, I'm very excited for this as well. Yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes in this alternate timeline.
Yeah, I'm just keep looking at art for the series. We're in for a treat when it comes to anybody that's a model fan. I feel like this is such a big departure. It's going to feel pretty new, pretty damn unique to be building these whenever the kits are finally out for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is actually something I was going to say about the kits is that I'm pretty sure the pre-orders for both the Red Gundam and the Cucks, I think for many places they sold out like first day or first week. People bought them. And, you know, absolutely can see why. I remember this promotional art that was first released when Cucks was announced too. Is just I still go back to it. It's just an incredible piece of art. I'm so excited for this. Just so unique, like everything here. Like this is, like I was trying to say before, like the poster childs of the or the main like suit that we follow for all the Gundam series is like they're always pretty unique, and the bodies of all the suits in the series follow the body of that one. But like this really feels like the most unique suit we've gotten.
I agree.
So I'm pretty pumped. Like it's not, and it's like in two with the colors as well. It's like it's not like our past where it's just strictly the white, blue, and red. It's like it's more of a muted like red, like almost crimson. There's even like grays and black and like this muted blue and less white too. Actually, more of a kind of a this kind of bluish, very pale gray. Yeah, it's just really just a sick design.
Yeah, it makes me sick because I'm in love with it.
Yep. But hell yeah, I guess that's it. Right? Do we have anything else to say about G-Cucks? Yeah. All right.
I'm very excited to keep up with it. I imagine it will be 24-ish episodes because it's they don't really do 13 or 12 episodes for Gundam anymore. They did in the 90s and 80s with like MS Mobile Suit. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called.
MSO8.
MSO8. War in the Pocket as well. Those were short, but they don't do those anymore for some reason. So it'll probably be a full 24.
Probably because they have bigger budgets, and this is such a the series is the franchise has gotten so big now. So I think they can afford it, and especially too since this is on Prime Video as well. Like
that's
so
true.
Much money. But yeah, you want to rank your top 5 here?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Easy money. All right, now number 5 is Vigilantes. I love it. I look forward to it, but everything else I look forward to more. Next would probably be Anne Shirley, then Devil May Cream.
Oh, Devil May Cream.
Mobile Gundam Cuck, and then Lazarus.
Okay, what can we say? Good lineup, but regardless, these are the top 5 anime you must watch this spring season. My top 5 going from 5 to 1 would have to be number 5, Devil May Cry, number 4, Cucks, number 3.
Wow, you're gonna call our listeners that? What the fuck?
Sorry. Mobile Suit Gundam Cucks. Number 3 would be Vigilantes. Number 2 would be Lazarus, and number 1 would be Anne Shirley. I'm all into this wholesome shit, man.
Got a great season. Watch them all if you can. They're great. They're just starting for the most part. Devil May Cry is all out, but everything else has got like 2 to 3 episodes.
Yep.
Hop on in.
Yeah, agreed. But thank you for listening to us, the All You Can Hear podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and YouTube. You can follow us on Bluesky at aychpodcast.bsky.social. Follow us on TikTok at AYCH Podcast. Follow our Instagram, AYCH Podcast. Follow our twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear, where we have VODs occasionally, or we have VODs from our streams in the past, where we have streamed occasionally. But I do know the instruction booklet streams quite a bit. And the VODs from all that goes on to our YouTube at All You Can Hear, along with all the instruction booklets, VODs, and episodes. And lastly, you can follow me, Wenzel, on Bluesky as World of Wenzel and Wenzel's Essential. And my link tree has links for everything, including my Goodreads, Letterboxd, and music board.
My name Colt. Follow me on Bluesky, Colt D00. That's all.